So today I'm going to be showing you how to weight paint in Blender for Bonelab avatars. Now let's actually get into this. So first what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a Bonelab rig. First what you're going to want to do is get a Bonelab rig for yourself that you can use to weight paint with. It's better to use a Bonelab rig unless you already have one that is from like a video game model or something. But I prefer to use the Bonelab rig, and that's what I'll be using today. And when you import a model, make sure you do these settings. Turn off animation and turn on automatic bone orientation in the armature. And that's all you need to do. There we go. There we have our peasant. And you're probably wondering, why does it look like this? It looks like it just came out of like a 18-bit game. Don't worry. It's just because all the laws are loaded. Because it's Blender and not Unity. So what you're going to want to do is, well, you don't have to, but you can. You could just click this hide in viewport, and it'll hide the model. See, now it looks normal. So here's our model, and this is what we're going to be using today. And what you're going to want to do, you're going to get some closed models. Some may not work, and some may work. So I'm going to show you what to do when you get a model in here. So let me grab one real quick. Alright, so what I have here is a backpack model from The Last of Us Part 2, and that's what I'll be using today. And later on the video, I'll show you how to do shirts, and pants, and shoes. And the easiest way to do them. And if you want to do heads, I'll put that in the next tutorial. Let's get right into it. So what we have here is what we're going to want to do, is we're going to select this. Then we're going to hold down Shift, then we're going to do this, Control P, then empty groups. Since I already have weight in this, it should already be moving. But we're not going to do that today. Since it's already moving, I want to show you how to get something like this with a backpack. But Bonelab models do not move like that. This is where it moves when you look down in game. That's how it moves when you look down in game. So that's what I'm going to be doing and showing you today. So let's get right into it. So this is how you're going to want to edit the thingy. So you're going to want to hold down Shift while selecting, well, make sure this is highlighted orange. Then you hold down Shift, select the backpack, go on the weight paints. Then this should be all blue. And what you're going to want to do is select the bones. Is you're going to hold down Control Shift, then select /click. So you can add the bones right here. So this is how I made a backpack. So if you want to make a backpack, this is how it's going to go. Well, this is how I do it. Remember, I'm not a professional. This is just how I do it. So basically, what we have here is the backpack. And hold on. Let's just have some weight paint right there. Anyways, yes, that's basically how a backpack works. So yeah, right here is where you put like the rest of the strands on the front for right here. In the back is where you like, there we go. And is where like the main backpack part is where. So this bone, I'm just gonna explain some stuff real quick. This bone right here is where the Bonelab player looks down when you're like look down or something, or you're crouching. And this is the neck where it controls like the head and stuff. So yes, and I'll show you like more bones in the clothing part, but I'll just explain what every single bone does like real quick. So the bone that shows like a line right here is the main bone. This is where how it moves like the clothing and stuff. The one that's in it though is the twist bone. So when you twist your arm in game, it'll have like a twist to it to make it realistic. That's what it does. Same here, this is a twist bone, this is the main bone that shows stuff, as you can tell by the line right here. And there are two tiny stuff right here. One of them is a wrist bone, and the other one is a wrist bone too, if I'm correct. But then one of them is hand bone 1, and the other one is a wrist bone, which is just like orbiting, yeah. It just makes it do cool stuff, I guess. But yes, this is the main hand, which is hand 2, which has all the bones to it. This is where the thumb is. Thumb, like middle part of the thumb, right here. Then here's the grip point for the thumb. I'm not really sure what those endpoints do for the thumbs and fingers, but I don't know. Same with this over here. I'm pretty sure this is just the local ball for what the player uses to walk around. Here's the toe. Because boom bang, it shows the toe. Here's the main foot. Here is the bottom leg, and pretty self-explanatory. So yes, that is what every single bone does. It's the same thing on the left side, just copy and paste it over to the right side. Oh wait, hold on. Right here. I'm not really sure what this one does, so I'm not gonna say anything about those. I'm not sure what they do, but just keep my word at it. This is where your shoulders are, though. That's what I know. These are the shoulders. The shoulders move up when you raise your arms up in Bonelab. So make sure you have weight painting on there. I would add a weight painting on here to make it like go with it, but it's like really bugged out when I do it, so I just don't really add weight painting here. You can add it if you want, unless you're like a weight painting pro or something. This is just tips and tricks, and this like how to do basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yes. So that's how you do a backpack. Alright, so I have my clothing. I will be using my clothing from my red avatar, which is hidden on my.io, but I will be using this for this tutorial, and I will not be uploading this. So here we have the clothing. As you can see, the body is clipping through it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to edit mode, and you're going to want to click L on the middle, then P, then separate by selection. Okay, so what I did here is what I clicked this, I held down the bones, I selected the shirt, then I did that, Control P, then automatic weights. You can do that too if you don't want to transfer weights, and transfer weights doesn't always work, so that's what I just did right here. And as you can see, there's a random thingy showing up there. You don't have to remove that part, and I'll show you what to do. So first you're going to select the bone, make sure to select the shirt right after while holding shift. Then you're going to want to find the bone that has the weight on there. So as you can see, it's the twist bone right there. And you're going to want to find every single bone that has weight on there, because most likely it's a lot. As you can see, the thingy's fully, and it's the same thing over here. So let's get rid of that right here, then right here. Then double check, let's get rid of these, and boom bang. Now the shirt looks normal, but as you can see, what is that? That's unnecessary. It's because there's too much weight. So we'll be cutting down. Should look like this. Once you're done, the weight painting should look like this from the outer. And what you're going to want to do, you're going to go to weights, smooth, then you're going to want to change this to all groups. And you're just going to press that like a couple times until it looks good for you and what you like. So for example, I have it like this, which I'm fine with, but I'm not going to go all out detail. You're going to go hog wild. Get it? Okay, I'm sorry. But yes, this is what you do. And when you move the arm forward, you should stretch the clothing with you. It should look like that. And boom bang. That's how you make a shirt. But down here, should have like this, since you already did automatic weights. But sometimes it may be a little too much. As you can see, the pants was clipping. So you're going to move some unnecessary weights. But this, for the other hand, that's what you want to avoid. You don't need, not every time you need to weight paint the shirt on the leg bones. So just go ahead and erase it, because it's not like, well, the only time you would probably keep it is when like the shirt is big or down to like knees right here. But in our case, it's not like that, so we're just gonna erase the weight painting right here. Because most bones have unnecessary weight painting, which just makes it worse. Because it's automatic weight painting, so it just does weight painting on every single bone, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and remove every single one, but by then they should all be gone. The pants. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hold down the pants, do the same thing what we do with the shirt. Boom bang, Control P, automatic weights. And the pants should automatically be done, but I'm gonna show you what to do if it starts like looking weird, like that. You do not want that. You do not want that. So it's because there's too much weight on the top of the pants. So you don't want to go through it. It may look normal at the bottom, which it should. Hopefully it does, like that. The shoes aren't weight painted, so don't worry about that. Anyways, yes. So we're gonna show what to do. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hide the shirt. Then you're gonna select the pants with the like that. Make sure it looks like that when you do it. And then you're gonna select right here. As you can see, there's too much weight painting right here. So you wanna erase that at the top where the shirt is covered by. It'll only move the bottom part of the shirt. Or the bottom of the shirt part. I don't freaking know how to explain it, but you see right here, just do your pants like that. If the pants are covered, then I don't know, you're cooked or something. Or if it's a shirtless dude, you should still do this. It'll just look better. That's what you're gonna be doing, and it should look like that. And boom bang, you have some complete pants. I see some. All right. Some weights may be hidden due to, as you saw there was just like a bunch of them. They had like teeny tiny weight paint. It should have looked like this probably. They probably had like this much on here, which can cause it to do a lot still, which we don't want. So we're gonna move it back, and that's how you do pants. That's how you do pants. So we're gonna do that, automatic weight paint. But there's gonna be some stuff right here. So what we're gonna do this, boom bang, weight paint. And we're gonna hide the pants real quick because we don't need to see that. And yes, so right here, as you can see, there's too much weight painted right there. And there's unnecessary stuff on this part. So we're gonna wanna go ahead and remove that. And same right here. It's a different model, so I need to like go in and like do it. You know the drill. But yes, yeah. So when you want the toe, you're gonna want to like go around here. And make sure you get around the whole entire model because there will be weight painting under the model too. As you can see, so it moves right here. Maybe a little too much, so you're gonna want to adjust it to be like 2.5, aka green, and you're just gonna go down. Like, if you want, here's the backpack, but we're not gonna be doing that today because yeah. And so basically, this is the same exact rig, and you know how to export. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go to export, FBX, and download, and right here, disable animation, armature, disable add leaf bones. That just makes it easier to go around and move around stuff inside of the FBX rig and stuff. And I'm just gonna name it some random stuff, name what you want. Or you want to import it to Unity and do the rest in there. And that's about it. See ya.